All right, let's jump right in. If you're working in a U.S. accounting firm, you know that feeling of being completely buried in work. But today, we're not just talking about how to survive it. We're going to look at a real, fundamental upgrade that's literally changing how firms work and how they grow.
I mean, this says it all, doesn't it? This is the reality for so many of us in the accounting world. It's that constant pressure, the feeling that the treadmill just never stops. It is absolutely relentless.
And here it is. This is the big shift in thinking we need to have. For years, we've all been focused on just managing the mountain of work. But what if the real problem, the actual source of all that stress, is something totally different? This slide really gets to the heart of it. The main issue isn't a lack of clients or demand. Actually, it's the exact opposite. The real crisis is a talent crisis. Plain and simple, there just aren't enough qualified people to handle all the work that's flooding in. So, does any of this look familiar? I'm going to guess it does. You've got rising labor costs, people leaving just as you get them trained up, the constant grind of finding new talent, and of course, those insane seasonal deadlines. These aren't just little headaches, right? They're major roadblocks that put a cap on what your firm can actually do. And here's the thing. You can't just hire your way out of this mess. Even if you have the best, most dedicated team on the planet, they still have their limits. At some point, adding more people just adds more management headaches without fixing the core issue. So that brings us to the solution. And we're not talking about some Band-Aid or a temporary fix to get you through tax season. We're talking about a real, permanent, strategic upgrade to your firm's entire way of doing business. Now, let's be super clear about what this is. This is not about replacing your team. It's all about strengthening it. Think of it as a model designed to take on all those core process-heavy tasks, which frees up your amazing in-house experts to focus on what they do best, high-value client work and growing the business. Okay, so if we're going offshore, the next question is obvious: where? And for a growing number of U.S. firms, the answer is India. And trust me, this is not a random choice. It's happening for some very specific, very strategic reasons. Let's break down this India advantage. First off, you've got this huge pool of incredibly skilled accountants who are already trained in US GAAP. Second, the communication tools are fantastic, so they plug right into your existing workflow. Third, and this is a big one, you get this amazing time zone efficiency. And finally, you get teams that can scale up or down with your needs, which is almost impossible to do with traditional hiring. This right here is one of the most powerful benefits, and it's so simple. The time zone difference isn't a problem, it's a huge advantage. It literally creates a 24-hour round-the-clock workflow. It's like your firm never sleeps. And here's exactly how it works. Your US team wraps up their day and hands off their tasks. Then, while you're at home, your offshore team in India is getting it done. You walk in the next morning and boom, the work is waiting for you. This absolutely slashes turnaround times and creates incredible efficiency. So where do you start with all this? Well, the smart way is not to just throw everything over the fence at once. You start with the process-heavy stuff to get some quick, immediate wins and really build confidence in the system. And two perfect places to start are payroll and AP. Oh, payroll. Anybody who's ever managed it knows this feeling. It is so detail-oriented. The deadlines are non-negotiable and the stakes are super high. One tiny mistake, and you've got compliance problems and unhappy clients. It is a massive source of stress. So when you offload payroll, you're not just saving time, you're basically outsourcing the stress. You get guaranteed on-time delivery from specialists who live and breathe this stuff, and you get the flexibility to handle more clients without having to go through the pain of hiring more staff. Okay, next up, accounts payable. AP is one of those things that looks simple from the outside, but it can quickly spiral into this chaotic black hole of missing invoices, duplicate payments, and endless vendor emails. It just eats up time. When you outsource AP support, you turn that chaos into a smooth, well-oiled machine. Invoices get processed way faster, errors pretty much disappear, and you get the clean, accurate reports you need for a predictable month end. It doesn't just save time. It improves the quality of your firm's data and even your clients' relationships with their vendors. Okay, now this is where things get really exciting. Most firms start this journey just to get some relief from the daily grind. But once that pressure is gone, they start to see these much deeper strategic benefits they never even saw coming. It's like a powerful chain reaction. First, you get consistency in your workflows. That consistency, plus better review systems, improves quality. And when your best people aren't burned out doing repetitive tasks, they're happier and they stick around. All of that together,
It gives you the capacity to finally say yes to new business and unlock some serious growth. This quote just nails it. This isn't about plugging a hole in your team. It's about laying a stronger foundation for everything your firm does. It makes the whole operation more resilient, more efficient, and ready to scale. So this probably all sounds pretty great, but you might be thinking, how do we actually start? Well, the key is to have a clear, phased-in approach that makes the whole thing feel manageable, not overwhelming.
Here's a roadmap. You start small with those easy wins like EP and payroll. Once that's running smoothly, you move on to monthly accounting and recs. From there, you can start adding in more specialized support for audits, and eventually, you can expand into this fully integrated partnership. It's a step-by-step evolution.
And at the end of the day, this is the most important thing to remember. Yeah, there are cost savings, but the real goal here isn't just about being cheaper. It's about building a better, stronger, more capable firm by giving your team the backup they need to truly shine.
So let's end on this question. Your firm isn't short on potential, it's short on people. That's been the limiting factor. So just imagine for a second, what could you build, who could you serve, and how much could you grow if that limitation was just gone? What could you build then?